Imagine waking up on an alien planet, bizarre landscapes, glowing caves, and lakes that defy science. Sounds like science fiction, right? But what if I told you that these places actually exist, right here on Earth? From fiery red deserts that look like Mars to neon blue caves straight out of a fantasy world, our planet is home to some of the most mind-blowing, otherworldly destinations. Get ready to explore 8 places so strange, so surreal, that you'll question whether you're still on Earth or somewhere far beyond. Mono Lake, California, US. Imagine standing on the edge of an ancient alien-like lake where twisted stone towers rise from the water like relics from another world. Mono Lake is no ordinary lake, it's a 1 million-year-old salty alkaline body of water in California completely cut off from the ocean. The eerie limestone formations called tufa towers seem almost supernatural, stretching toward the sky like fingers of some forgotten giant. But here's the weird part. This lake is so salty that fish can't survive in it. Instead, Mono Lake is home to a bizarre life form, brine shrimp, tiny, alien-looking creatures that thrive in the extreme conditions. And if that wasn't strange enough, every summer, the lake boils with life. Millions of migratory birds swoop in, drawn by the shrimp, turning this desolate Mars-like landscape into a chaotic feathered feeding frenzy. The water itself is so mineral-rich that if you dip your hand in, it feels almost soapy. Scientists even study Mono Lake to understand how life might exist in extreme environments beyond Earth. NASA has explored its microbial life to learn more about what we might find on Mars or Jupiter's moon, Europa. Standing here at sunrise with the tufa towers casting long shadows over the shimmering alien blue water, you might just feel like you've stepped into a different world, one that could just as easily be on some distant exoplanet. Vatnajökull Glacier, Iceland. Now imagine stepping into an icy wonderland where deep blue caves glow like frozen sapphire tunnels, and the ground beneath your feet rumbles with volcanic power. Welcome to Vatnajökull Glacier, Iceland's frozen giant, a place where fire and ice collide to create landscapes that seem straight out of a science fiction film. This massive glacier covers 8% of Iceland, and beneath its thick ancient ice lurk active volcanoes, ready to erupt at any moment. But the real magic happens inside the glacier. Hidden within its icy depths are crystal-clear blue ice caves, tunnels formed by melting and refreezing over centuries. Walking through these caves is like stepping inside a frozen alien fortress, with walls so smooth and transparent that they reflect the light like a gemstone. The blue color? That's because the ice is so dense it absorbs every other wavelength of light except blue, making it glow with an otherworldly luminescence. And here's something even more mind-blowing. Scientists believe Vatnajökull's extreme environment is similar to the icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn. NASA has studied its frozen landscapes to understand what might lie beneath the thick ice of Europa or Enceladus, moons that could possibly harbor alien life. If you ever visit, prepare to feel tiny standing beneath this towering ice giant, hearing the creaks and groans of shifting ice. You'll realize you're in a place where Earth feels like an alien planet. Lake Hillier, Australia. Now picture this, a bubblegum pink lake sitting in the middle of a bright green forest right next to the deep blue ocean. Sounds fake, right? But Lake Hillier is 100% real, and no one can fully explain why it's pink. Located on Middle Island off the coast of Western Australia, this lake looks like someone spilled an entire bottle of pink paint into it. What's even stranger, the color never changes. Unlike other pink lakes, which shift hues depending on the season, Lake Hillier stays vibrantly pink all year round. Even if you take water samples in a bottle, they stay pink. Scientists believe this bizarre phenomenon is caused by extremophile microorganisms such as Dunaliella salina algae and halobacteria, which thrive in the lake's super salty waters. And here's where it gets even weirder. Nothing sinks in Lake Hillier. The salt levels are so high that floating is effortless, just like the Dead Sea, except it looks like a giant pool of strawberry milk. This lake is completely isolated, untouched by pollution, and so unique that scientists study it to understand how life survives in extreme, alien-like conditions. If you ever get the rare chance to fly over it, the contrast between the cotton candy pink water, the lush green forests, and the deep blue ocean right next to it will make you question if you're still on Earth, or if you've just been teleported to another planet. Giant's Causeway, Northern Ireland. Picture this. You are stepping onto a landscape that looks like the ruins of an ancient, alien civilization. Thousands of perfectly shaped stone columns, tightly packed together, forming a natural pathway that stretches into the sea. But here's the catch. No one built it. Welcome to Giant's Causeway, a place so otherworldly that myths say it was made by giants. According to legend, Vatnajökull, an Irish giant, built this massive stone bridge to cross the sea and fight his Scottish rival. But when he saw how massive his opponent was, he fled back home, smashing the bridge behind him. What remains today is 40,000 interlocking basalt columns, created by volcanic eruptions 60 million years ago. The way the lava cooled and cracked left behind these bizarre hexagonal stone formations, making it look like nature intentionally designed a perfect puzzle. But here's where it gets even weirder. Scientists say the way these columns formed is eerily similar to patterns seen on other planets, particularly on Mars and some of Jupiter's moons. In fact, similar geometric structures have been found on Venus, proving that the forces shaping our world might be at play across the universe. As you walk across this seemingly man-made terrain, surrounded by towering cliffs and waves crashing against the shore, you can't help but feel like you've stepped into a forgotten alien world, crafted by forces beyond human understanding. Waitomo Glowworm Caves, New Zealand. Now imagine drifting through a silent, pitch-black cave, your boat gliding across an underground river. Then suddenly thousands of tiny blue lights flicker above you, turning the ceiling into a mesmerizing starry night sky, except you're underground. Welcome to Waitomo Glowworm Caves, a place so magical it feels like stepping into a dream or an alien spaceship. But here's the shocking truth, those twinkling lights? They're not stars, they're glowworms, or more specifically the larvae of a bioluminescent fungus gnat. These tiny creatures dangle silk-like threads from the cave's ceiling and glow to attract insects. The hungrier they are, the brighter they shine, creating a breathtaking scene of thousands of tiny lights shimmering in the darkness. The secret behind their glow? It's a chemical reaction inside their bodies, similar to how fireflies light up. But what makes Waitomo special is the sheer number of glowworms, tens of thousands covering the cave's ceiling, creating a glowing galaxy beneath the Earth's surface. For a few moments, as you drift through the cave in silence, surrounded by this eerie blue glow, you might forget you're on Earth at all. It feels more like a scene from a distant exoplanet, a place where the sky is underground and the stars are alive. Wadi Rum, Jordan. Now if there's one place on Earth that could easily pass for Mars, it's Wadi Rum. Imagine an endless desert of deep red sand, towering rock formations and vast open landscapes where the horizon seems to stretch on forever. This isn't just a desert, it's a place where you'd expect a NASA rover to roll by instead of a human. Often called the Valley of the Moon, Wadi Rum is so similar to Mars that it has been used as a filming location for movies like The Martian and Dune. The terrain here is shaped by millions of years of wind and water erosion, creating bizarre rock bridges, narrow canyons, and massive cliffs that look too perfect to be natural. The red-orange sand, combined with the towering mountains, makes it feel like an astronaut could step out of a spacecraft at any moment. But here's the truly mind-blowing part. Scientists believe that the conditions of Wadi Rum are very close to what we might find on Mars's surface. The desert's extreme temperatures, high radiation levels, and dry climate make it the perfect training ground for future Mars missions. In fact, astronauts have already tested spacesuits and rovers here to simulate what it would be like to explore the red planet. Walking through Wadi Rum at night is an experience like no other. The sky is pitch black, filled with millions of stars, and the silence is so intense that you can hear your own heartbeat. For a brief moment you'll feel like you've left Earth behind and stepped onto a distant, uncharted planet. Grand Prismatic Spring, Yellowstone National Park, US. Imagine staring into a massive, steaming hot spring, where the water shifts from deep blue to vibrant green, then fiery orange and red, as if a portal to another dimension just opened up. This isn't science fiction, this is Grand Prismatic Spring, the largest hot spring in the US, and one of the most visually stunning places on Earth. At 370 feet in diameter, it's bigger than a football field. And its colors? That's where things get crazy. The deep blue center is due to superheated, mineral-rich water, where almost nothing can survive. But as the temperature drops toward the edges, bizarre microorganisms take over, forming rings of green, yellow, orange, and red. These are thermophiles, tiny life forms that thrive in extreme heat. Different species dominate at different temperatures, each producing a unique pigment, turning the spring into a living rainbow. And here's the wild part. Scientists have studied these thermophiles to understand what life might look like on alien planets. Some of them can survive in extreme conditions similar to those found on Mars and Saturn's moon, Enceladus. That means if alien life exists in our solar system, it might not be little green men. It could be microscopic creatures living in boiling, mineral-rich waters just like this. Standing at the edge of Grand Prismatic Spring, with steam rising and colors shifting before your eyes, it feels like Earth is showing off, reminding us that our planet is just as strange and beautiful as any alien world. Nāhuku, aka Thurston Lava Tube, Hawaii. Stepping into a dark, mysterious tunnel, the walls glistening with moisture, the air thick with the scent of volcanic earth. You hear the distant sound of dripping water, and the dim glow of artificial lights reveals a winding path that stretches into the darkness. Welcome to Nāhuku, also known as the Thurston Lava Tube, a place where you're literally walking through the veins of a once molten Earth. This tunnel was carved by a river of lava over 500 years ago, when a volcanic eruption sent molten rock surging beneath the surface. As the outer layer cooled and hardened, the lava inside kept flowing, eventually draining away and leaving behind a hollow tube, a perfect underground pathway that looks like it belongs on another planet. The walls of Nāhuku are covered in strange rope-like patterns, frozen in time from when the lava cooled. Some sections are so smooth it feels like you're inside a sci-fi spaceship, while others are jagged and rough, showing the raw power of Earth's volcanic forces. Here's where things get even more surreal. Scientists believe that if humans ever colonize Mars or the Moon, lava tubes like this might be the best places to build underground bases. The thick rock provides natural protection from deadly radiation and extreme temperatures, just like it does here in Hawaii. In fact, NASA has already sent rovers into lava tubes on Earth to prepare for future space missions. Walking through Nāhuku, you can't help but wonder, are we standing in a place that mirrors the hidden tunnels of Mars? Are there alien worlds out there with underground networks just like this? One thing's for sure, this is one of the closest experiences we have to exploring another planet without ever leaving Earth. Earth is full of surprises, and these places prove that you don't need a spaceship to visit an alien world. From glowing caves to Mars-like deserts, our planet is packed with mind-blowing destinations waiting to be explored. Which one amazed you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you love discovering the world's most fascinating places, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more adventures. This is Explore Edge, where the journey never ends.